Hello, and welcome to Glitter and Gab. I am your host, Jenlyn, and I'm so excited to be here today. I have a just phenomenal guest, and we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to share some things. We're going to do some live work in front of you all. And I'm really excited about that. If you might remember, 2 weeks ago, I threw out my link and I said, first one in my studio is going to get to jump on stage, and we'll go through my process, my framework process, which is multidimensional niche integration. And so we started a conversation about herself and her brand and her experiences and all of those things. And it went so well that I invited her to come back the next week. And then I dropped the ball. The next week was my birthday, and some other things happened with some family. And so she was very gracious, which I'm very grateful for. And she's here today, though, and we're going to show you guys what we've been working on together for her brand. So very, very excited. And hello, Sharon. I'm so glad to see you today. And so it is Michelle Ramos, and I am just going to bring her up and let's just dive in, okay? Because it's just time to do that. I'm so excited to have you here. And we both wore blue today, and it wasn't even planned, and I love that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's that synergy.
It is. So for those of you that may not know who I am or what I do, I help create brands. I create brands that are something new. Okay. Right now as it is, we have personal brands, we have our company brands, and I believe that it's so much easier when we live a life that's integrated without the separation. And so what I call the brands I help create are holochromatic, and that speaks to the multidimensional aspect, the colorful aspect, the expansive aspect of a brand and the brands that I help to create. So we're creating the future now, so to speak. And that's what it is that I do. So Michelle, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about what it is that you do, so in case they don't know you.
Well, thank you. I'm very, very grateful to be here today, for one. I'm Michelle Ramos, and I'm the founder of Don't Raise Statistics. Basically, what that means, I want to give back to my community, and I want to make the world a better place. But I would say I'm an activist that's advocating very hard right now, many different systems and sectors within our lives. Everything from housing and tenant rights and landlord responsibilities to the education system, what they do as far as being inclusive and allowing children like my daughter with special needs to be, what is the word? I don't even want to say normal, because what's normal? But to be included, to have the same chances. But also through this journey of trying to do this with her schooling, we ran into a bit of, issues as far as the mental health goes with the company that they contracted, which has led the advocacy work into, the mental health system and what very tragic things they did to fail my child. So I definitely just try to be the voice for the people that can't speak or don't know what to speak about. I try to make sure that people know where to get resources or support that is actually tangible. I try to make sure that people are educated about their rights. One thing I learned with the housing, so many people have no idea what property owners and property management companies are legally obligated to, let alone what they just have a right to as a bare minimum. So I'm trying to make that ripple effect to create a change nationwide, not just here locally.
Right. And I love that. And I don't know why I don't know how I got us to come up so big here. Let me go back. It's not going to take us down. I was trying to, Jackie Olmsted, I was trying to say thank you for being here, and I started typing without being in the comment box. And then all of a sudden, here we are. And that's okay. You all are just going to, like get to see us all close up. Let me see if I can, I don't want to. Okay, there we go. I was like, I don't want us to disappear. So, but I got us back down. And I think that that's something that's really common about activism and advocacy is being able to understand and learn, right? To be open, to be curious, and to learn. And then we educate ourselves, and then we turn around and educate other people to do the same, because we don't know what is happening. We don't know what we don't know until we do. And then we have a responsibility. So I love that about you. The thing that actually connected us was that, I am a human rights consultant, and you reach out to me and a UN,
I need international
sustainability.
guidance.
Yes. And so you reached out to me, and that's what actually connected us. And then we went from there around this big circle of a little of a ride. And now here we are with this branding. But that's what I love about life, is that you start out in one place, and then you end up completely somewhere else, and you're like, how did we get here? And then you look back and you're like, oh, but it doesn't even matter, because look at all this really cool stuff that happened in the interim.
I asked about the human rights, and then I got this email with these 50 questions, and in my mind I thought that that's what it was going to be about, and I start answering these questions, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna keep going, because these are very thought-provoking questions, but I think we misaligned. But that was like probably one of the best misalignments ever.
I love it, because, and what Michelle is talking about is part of my process is that we do go and dive very, very deep into who you are. And so I sent 50 questions. They are very thought-provoking questions. And most of the time, it takes everyone, a couple of days even to really get through them and answer, which I really appreciate when people give it the time, themselves the time, because this is a journey about you. And then what I'm able to do with that, I call it an identity insight index. And I pull information from that. And then I plug that information from experiences, like, just for instance, tell me, one thing that you went through as a child, and tell me one thing that you went through as an adult, and I'll just kind of demonstrate what I'm going to pull from that.
As a child, I lost all beginning memories of life due to an accident at 8 years old. And as an adult life, I've had 10 brain shunt revisions and 2 brain shunt insertions, so 12 brain surgeries. I don't know.
Like, wow, right?
Right.
So from those two things, we can break that down and look at that. And what I gather from that is you've got resilience, you've got grit, you've got sustainability. You know how to adapt, you know how to pivot, you know what it is that you want. You have a why, you know why you're here, you know what you're here to do, and you hold on to that, right? Almost sometimes maybe even so
Too much.
tight, yeah, too tight, and you're losing your limb from hanging on to it so tightly. But at the same time, that always whips back around in a way that brings you and is and will be bringing you abundance, wealth, health, gladness, joy, and all of those things. But so now we pulled from that, right? Resilience and grit. And I also know that you have empathy from that, because you are still out there loving people, loving yourself. You're extra empathetic, in fact. All right. Which also tells me that you know yourself on a deep level. You've done a lot of inner work. You have insecurities and you experience humanity and you experience the human experience, but you love yourself.
Yep. True story.
So those are some things that those two things tell me. And then the other part is, tell me 2 jobs that you've had.
I used to be a home coordinator in several group homes that work with the developmental disabilities. I don't like saying the MR word. And I'm a licensed barber.
Okay. So very personal, right? You like to be down in the nitty gritty of helping people have what it is that they need. You're very connection driven and relationship driven. You want to hear people's stories. And when you do, almost to a fault, you want to do something about it. You want to fix it, right? So you're a little bit of a fixer. You care very deeply about those that are around you. And, sacrifice is something that right now is coming up, and not in a martyrdom kind of way, but in the sense that when we are going after something, when we're trying to create something, build something, help others, be of service, those types of things, there is a putting off of our pleasure sometimes, right? There's a putting off of something else that we want because we know that we're focused on this greater need, and the greater need needs this more than this does. So there's this level of, sacrifice that's there. But, and it's not, like I said, it's not a martyrdom. It's a intelligently intellectual sacrifice. You're knowingly, right, and gladly also.
It's almost like for survival. Like, I know if these things don't happen, like, it may not be, I mean, it's already negatively impacted me, like a lot of the things that I'm advocating for, but I know it's not for me in my lifetime. It's for my daughter and the other kids of the future generations, that it's their survival. It's their livelihoods. It's things that affect these innocent children that are going to be our future leaders. It's so much bigger than who I am. It's just, it needs a voice to get it going.
Yeah, you get to be that voice, and what such a powerful voice you are. And so I absolutely love that, and you're getting lots of love in the chat. I don't know if you've seen, but
I need everybody to know, I'm not a rude I can't focus on chats and things because of the ADHD. My mind, I just like to focus on the show.
Yeah, I totally get that. Gabe loves the energy from this community. He says that your smile radiates through.
Oh, well, I'm very
hugs. We're glittery stars also. Sharon said that you that you rock, that you're beautiful, right?
Amazing people, like, that are just as more amazing, if not better than myself. So I appreciate everything.
I do too. Thank you all for being here and for all the love. It is amazing and it's deserved, right? I do believe that it's deserved, very much so, for you. And I'll just take a moment to really just applaud you in this place and space right now, because it's not an easy road, right? Like, grit is made, grit is created, and that's done consciously at a point. At first, the process is subconscious shit's happening to you, and you're like, what the hell is going on in my life right now? And
Yes.
it feels like everything's happening to you and everything's painful. Yes.
Yeah. It's like you're always swimming against the current.
Yeah. And then you come to this point, though, that you recognize that you can do something with it, with this, right? You can turn your pain into purpose. You can rewrite your story. You can help others. You realize that it is about something that's bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make a conscious decision and a choice to pivot. You make a conscious decision to learn and to share and to educate.
I
Those
think
are
the
all conscious.
scariest part is like when you got to stand up against the very people that are like doing the wrong. It's like the scariest part is having to like stand up in front of them alone. And it's the
Yes.
hardest part.
Yeah, it is. But you've done all of that.
Yes.
And
I have.
so now is your time of harvest. Now is your time of harvest. And what I mean by that is it's now all of the fruit that all the labor you've put in, all the watering of the roots, all the planting of the seeds, all of the things are coming to this fruition. And it's harvest for you. It's all coming back to you. And the things that you need, the things that you've been seeking, especially the bigger things, right? I see those just starting to trickle in, and like a tidal wave or a typhoon even, is just knocking at your door right now. And so part of that wave was me saying, hey, come jump into my studio. And you're like, oh, hell yes, I'm there, right? And immediately, like, almost no hesitation. There was no hesitation.
No, you're amazing. Like, it's like, who would not want to be on the stage with jenlyn? Like, it wasn't even to, like, in my mind, it wasn't even to be like getting anything in return. It's just like, you're just amazing. So it was just,
Oh my gosh.
let's go have fun. It's a
Yeah.
positive energy. You can't, how could you like not want to just be and just embraced with more positivity? Like,
I
I love
love
it.
that so much because that was my next question. Why did you say yes, right? Why did you jump on? And so I appreciate you so much. Gabe, I appreciate you for the love. And Ollie, you guys are just amazing. Small and interesting. Oh, yeah, my oddity cabinet that I haven't shown yet. Yeah, I'm still waiting to be able to do that. It needs some it needs some TLC at my oddity cabinet, and I haven't really been able to give it that. But when it comes out, I promise it will be epic. And Gabe, I will remember you. I will tag you in
You
it,
should be
brother.
guest on the show when you reveal it.
I should. I could actually just have Gabe come on, right? And then
Right. You
he
should be
could
the
be here
guest
while
on
I
the
reveal
reveal
it.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love working with you. We've had a lot of fun this last week and a half, and I you graciously have even volunteered to just kind of show and demonstrate a little bit of what I do and through what we created for you, but you want to make a couple of changes and look at a couple of things, right? Are you ready to do that? You want to do that?
Exciting. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So everybody get ready, because even though we're going to be making some changes, the reveal that's happening right now
Oh my God.
is
Oh my God.
the new branding. It's the holochromatic branding for Michelle, and we're so excited. So without further ado, let me share this screen. And
So exciting.
so exciting. Here we
And this
go.
is just the beginning. So we can also, if
Oh,
we would like, we can tell them that we will be in the upcoming weeks working on rebranding Don't Raise Statistics to cohesively align with the thought catalyst as well.
absolutely. Because It's time to build brands that are integrated and not separate. So I believe my screen share is showing, but I do want to jump on and make sure. And also, I don't see either one of us. All I can see is the screen, which that's okay. But I do want to make sure that we're still, because I
See
can't see.
us and the screen.
Okay. Do you see comments by chance?
I see it. Maybe
I cannot.
Olivier. I don't
That's
want
okay.
to pronounce that wrong.
That's okay. I cannot see anything but the screen. So,
Yeah,
and that's okay. If you can see
there's a
us,
comment on the screen.
okay, perfect. Well, I cannot see comments, so I won't be sharing those for a minute. But
Look
this
how good.
is this is Michelle's beautiful brand for cathartic catalyst. So what we um, created, was her basic color spectrum. We created her logo. We created her timeline banners for across socials. These are alternative metal based backgrounds for her to be able to use throughout her branding. And this is her, who she is, what she does. And we came up with her niche, which what a holochromatic brand also is your own niche. You're not niching down into a niche that exists. I take every piece and part of you that I am able to wrap around all of your experiences, your background, your jobs, your sicknesses, illnesses, all of it, and bring that in and create what is truly only belongs to you. So we're not niching down. You're the niche, and we're together finding what that is and what that looks like. So, Michelle, do you want to just share a little bit about that process for you coming there?
It's been very humbling, and for me, I've been learning how to be able to accept praise and people saying I'm worth things, and I'm not gonna lie, sitting here just even hearing and reading like what you have created, I sit back and it's almost surreal that it's like that's me. And it really is. Like what this says, this is 100% me. But for me, I'm just like, I never have felt like that amazing. And you you're just it's crazy like what you're able to do. I never in my life would have been able to do this. I would have never even thought it.
Hmm. Well, that's because we all have our own superpowers, right? And so I do believe it. I do love it. And it's always such a treat to have the honor, right? It's an honor to
It's crazy like what you're able to do.
sorry, I finally got LinkedIn on my phone to pull up. So it's an incredible honor to have you open up and be vulnerable and share yourself, your dreams, your vision, your mission, what it is that you want, what it is that you've been through, and all of those different pieces come together. It's your essence, right? It is your essence, and it's something that always brings me to that place of such gratitude for the opportunity to see you and to hear you and to bring all of that into color, to bring all of that into life in such a way. And so, thank you so
We always
much.
start like an hour and then it's like 3, 4 hours later. We always and it's just and you don't even realize how much time's gone by when we're together. It's just happens and it's just smooth and it's effortless.
Yeah, it is. And that's the way that, that's my vision is I want people's experience and their business, I want it to be effortless and smooth, right? And
I
I
think it's
love,
important to know, though, you create that space. You create a space that you feel that safe, that you can be vulnerable. Like, I've been in so many situations where I've been vulnerable and then it's been weaponized against me. So I'm very, very guarded now, like who I am today. And you do this amazing way of it, just none of that worry or that fear exists. It's just, you can be open and honest, and you know you're not going to get judged.
no,
And
yeah,
I thank
no.
you for that. Not everybody can do that.
Thank you so much. You know, it's a skill, right, that can be built, and it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of work. And you also have that, and that's part of the reason that when we come together, the space is so smooth and so sleek, as you said. And I'm going to use that as I'm going to stop share real quick because I don't know if it'll actually let me go completely into another screen share. So what I want to use that as a segue, that there's this a part that you don't like so much, right? That you decided, we did a little bit of logo change with the image, and now what was working is not working.
It's not that I don't like it. I love it on the first
Yes, on the front.
rendition, but then you created. I wanted something because that one's gorgeous. It's so detailed and intricate, and there's so many different layers that are who I am, and I'm definitely gonna have it in the e-commerce store. Like, people can put it on their wall. But then I was like, well, I want something maybe like a little less detailed and a little bit maybe more like sleek, like sexy and smoother. So then you created what you just showed everybody, and I'm like in love. I'm like, oh my God. But then I'm just kind of like, the lettering is messy look and the logo is sexy. And I'm like, change the fonts and like tweak the color a little. Like, I want more sexiness. And that's where we're
Yeah,
at.
and I love that. So I'm going to share screen again. And what we're all going to be able to see is the very first logo that I created. And then we're going to see, I love Ollie. You're such a word master, and I love it. And hello, Chasen, welcome in. And Gabe, you have nothing to be afraid of to come on live. No,
I'm
we'll
so
talk
thankful
about
for
it.
everybody tuning in. Yes. And Gabe, there's nothing to be scared of. He's
We'll
doing
bring
some
it
amazing
on.
TikToks right now. And I'm like so proud of him and his commitment. So if he can do them TikToks, he can definitely share a stage with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. All right, so I'm going to do a share screen again, you guys. And like I said, we'll see what I created first, and then we'll see. Well, you've already seen the new, but we'll see where we started. So the very first thing that I created was this, and it's about 50 billion pieces, separate pieces that I put together to create this image because we had the vision and we knew the symbology behind what it is that we're trying to create. And I do use this is not, this is all just different things that I pulled together. I was trying to incorporate AI. Sometimes AI is a little tricky and we don't always get what we want. So I wasn't getting the images. But then yesterday happened and I was able to get this beautiful image. Okay. And so,
I think like the only thing that I told you that was like really important for me was like that weeping willow. Like,
yes,
how much it resonates. I think that was like the one thing that I just told you. I was like, I want to keep the weeping willow.
absolutely.
Oh, my dog.
And so tell everyone just a little bit about the weeping willow and what it means for you in your personal life. And then I'll tell a little bit about how that incorporates into a professional setting as well.
For me, like, they're just so beautiful. Like, once you can, I have had the opportunity to see a field that was full of weeping willows.
Oh,
So it
wow.
wasn't just a weeping willow. So I got to be in this field one day, and well, we actually went camping, but I was in this. You're just surrounded by them, and like when the wind blows, and like all of the vining, they're vines. I don't know what you would even call them. They're branches, vines, like because they don't break. And for me, like it was at a moment where I was at that journey of struggling, and like I wanted to break, and I'm like, look, these trees don't break. Like even in the worst storms, like you will see an oak tree break. You could see, something take an oak tree, but that same storm, the willow's just gonna bend with it. And for me, I think I just kind of related to a tree. How in nature it was just like I can't stop. I can't break. I gotta keep growing. I gotta keep, manifesting and creating things. And the willow, and then I don't know if people know this, but like if you take those branches off the willow trees, like you could create so many things because of how durable they are, that
Mhm.
it's just resourceful. I don't know. It's just something about that tree.
And I love it, right? Because it represents all those things about you: the resilience, the grit, the bending, but not breaking. On a professional level of being able to use it as a logo and have a logo that represents your company and still be a work of art, right? It does not have to be. We hear a lot, so much, clear, not clever. And I believe we can be clever and clear. And I believe that when we use
What I said
something
yesterday.
strategically, excuse me, go ahead.
You remember what I said yesterday about the don't raise statistic? It's clip art. It was
Oh,
nothing. It wasn't personal. It's just clip art.
right. And this is bringing you and your vision, not just for yourself, but your vision for your company to the forefront. The reason this works is because when we make art, it draws you in, right? It's magnetizing. It stops the scroll. And every time somebody looks at something that I create, I want them to see something different, right? I want them to know and be able to understand another part of you as they're looking at it. And there's so much symbolism in this one image. And before I kind of break it down, really, actually, I would love for you all to, what is it that you feel? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you smell, taste, right? Whatever sense it may be. What comes up for you when you all out in the audience look and see this logo before I talk about what it means on a professional level? I would love to see if anybody has, and I know that that's going to take a second because there's a lag. So while we're waiting for that, I actually have to bring this back up because I lost this. There we go. And see if anybody has any guesses or anything to say about that. I do want to talk about we can talk about the font, the typography a little bit, and then we'll come back to this, and that'll give everybody an opportunity to share what it is that they, feel or see, or what it says to them. And that'll be
My dogs
great.
are so
That's okay. The doggy's okay. The doggy's okay. So, like you said, at first, this image or this font worked, and this font still can work in your brand. And we chose this font because you wanted to represent a lot in your brand. A part of what you wanted to represent, right, is chaos, the chaos of life. And so this font is actually called Finger Paint. And I immediately knew that as soon as you said the word chaos, that this was the font that I was going to go for you. And it works great. And it really works great, like you said, with this one. But now this one,
yes,
like you said, it's much more sleek. It's sexy. It is matured, right? Because it
it is.
evolved. And so now you want something that's more sleek, more sexy. And so I have some ideas, and we are going to try some of them now. So one of them is, let me think. Oh, yeah. It is called Railway, and it is a clear, sexy, somewhat rounded, right? It's rounded off, it sways, it moves, it's sleek, it's much easier to see. The other thing that I want to do real quick, actually I'm going to go back, is I want to take the effect of this off, because that affects what it looks like. So this is what it really looks like without any kind of effect.
And I think that with the colors, I think maybe because I like how the colors are in the actual logo, and I guess I don't necessarily want the words to take away from the logo as how they're blending, if that makes
right.
sense.
So initially we had done this in an orange, and that was why, because it actually pops off of it, and then you weren't really drawn too much to the orange. But in the color theory, if we really want the words to pop and be independent of the logo, but then also work together with the logo, we there's a couple of different color options that we can play with, and we'll have time to do that here in a second. Do you like, I want to show you a couple of other options. For first off, I'm going to turn this one back to the finger paint because I want us to be able to see what they all are without the excuse me. Okay, there it is. We'll just change it that way. Okay, so that's what finger paint looks like on its own without the effect. And then I'm going to paste, and we'll change that one to the railway. And the other that I have in mind for you is mantra state, something of the such. I think when I type it in, it'll come up. Do you want, because what I'm understanding is that you want something that's, cleaner, but also not necessarily curvy in the way that it looks like script. You want it to be sexy and sleek, but you want it to be print. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So this is another option for you. And I got to get back to where I'm going. Okay, let's, oh, that's why I wasn't pulling that up. That's why I wasn't pulling it up, because I was wrong. Okay, so this is another, and they're very similar, right? The differences are, this is, it doesn't have the loop or the curve on the ends up here. This one has,
bottom.
Yeah, like this one. Okay, it has a longer. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna just move this one over here to the side. Actually, let me add this right here, and we'll move it down. And I'm going to move this other one down because we know for right now we don't want it on our banner. And okay, so this one we say yay. I want to look at a couple others because I want you.
Even right here, you see like the difference is like
Yes, and I want, I'm going to do this and just use this, and it's going to say the subheading. You'll still be able to see the change of script, even though it's not going to say the cathartic catalyst, because I want you to be like, no, that's it, right? I like is good, but I want it to be like, ooh, bam, that's it. So we're going to keep going until we
It was
get
like this
there.
morning when you sent that email and I opened it up and I was just like, oh my God, I love this.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. You sent me a message, you did, and I didn't get to see it until later, but I was like, oh, yay, because I love that. So I want that from you right now as we're going through and trying to find this new font. So the other thing that I'm going to do is we're in similar thoughts, and I have a list of what I think that you might like. So this one is clean, and it's just a little bolder. So this one, and typically we should use and have about 3 different fonts. One for the huge, the big headings, one for a subhead, and then one that we're going to use for most of our text. And that would be, much more streamlined, easy to read, easy on the eyes, and easy for our brains to process and that sort of thing. So this one could be. You're kind of cutting out a little bit, so I'm not sure what you said. You wanted to see it somehow different, but I'm not sure.
Because it was barking right next to me, so I apologize about that. I was thinking, can we see it maybe in like a different color?
Yes, a different color. Yes. We'll go ahead and change the color.
And come get him now.
I do want to go for something.
Like, I don't know what it would be. I just know that the last time that the color changed the visual of the letters. So I remember that.
Yes, because it all does have it all does affect. So we're going to change gears just for a second, and what we're going to do is find your color. So what I'm going to do is pull up the general shade of color that will be the best scientifically and psychologically for you to choose from, if that makes sense. So I'm going to, and it is going to be in this range. It doesn't have to be this color, but it's going to be somewhat in this range. And I'm going to pull up some images, and then I'm going to scroll until you find one that it is that you like, and we're going to try it right next to it. But we want it to pop off, right? And also at the same time, though, bring and draw the eye into your logo, which that all has to do with placement, which is another thing that we can play around with. But so I'm gonna type in an orange sunset and see what happens here.
I think I fixed the dog issue. I apologize for that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm not a puppy no more, but he's not fully trained. He's like at that teenager stage.
Yeah, it's perfect. So this is the color palette essentially that is going to work the best as far as being able to stand separately of and also not take away from the logo. Does that make sense? So I'm going to scroll until you see something that you're like, no, I like that. And then we're going to stop, and I'm going to pull the color from it. Okay. And really anything in, like this one has like 50 different shades of, what I'm saying. So even though it looks like it's kind of a narrow, it's
right there. Top left, up one, go up, like scroll up one layer, one row.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
On your
this.
Go scroll. Nope. It went up a row. That first one right there on the left.
Okay.
Yep. And the one. Yep. That one.
This one right here. Yeah. Okay.
It's like
this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
like
what
kind of
color?
like the blend of that yellow and that peachy color that I
Okay.
was drawn to.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go up here to change that color, and I'm going to grab our little dropper, and we're going to go and look in. So that is one of the peachy colors. I'm going to go ahead and grab the codex for that really quick, just in case we decide to go with that one. But I'm going to change this now again, and we'll choose a different one. There's the really bright, and then there's the darker yellow, and
The one that
then
had the circle, that the one next to it, what color is that?
okay, on this photo, right on the other
This white thing with all the color palettes. If you go back one screen.
Okay, back over here.
Nope. Now click on that. And then,
okay. Was it a color on the actual color palette?
Well, when the screen was just on, like the one that had all those little circles with the colors, and there was a circle around the one that was being used. So
yes.
It was like next to it. It wasn't so peachy. It had a little bit more orangish to it.
Okay, that right here.
But it was
this one.
I think so.
Okay.
I believe it was.
So that's what this one looks like.
Okay. No.
Because I was going to say, you're fixing to laugh. You're going to laugh with me here, because this is the very first color that we use.
Yeah, this is. I don't even think that, like, those don't look like the same colors though that was up when I seen what I don't think.
Yeah, what you were talking about. Okay, so and it may not have been, because they're going to change depending on what let me go to this one. No, see, that's the same. This is all of mine, right? So this will stay the same, but this up here can possibly change. So let me grab this again and see what we got in here. We'll try to also pay attention to time, of course. I also, while I'm doing this, want to take a second to let you all know that I will be joining the beautiful Miss April Wyatt, my beautiful sister, sister, as I like to say, for in her audio room, the breathing room, at 4:30 to 5:30 Central Time, and we're going to have a great conversation. Yes, it's going to be good stuff. So there's that also. But I'm also curious. I think that we can grab a different color out of here. So I want to grab this blue. It's kind of a gray, blue, green, which essentially kind of is a mixture almost of the colors that are in here. So I want to show us something with it. It kind of mutes into it, right? A little bit.
Just getting ready to ask you, what about like a silvery or something? And then you just did that. And then, because I think that if it had like that black outlining type thing you did,
which is what we're fixing to do. So
I'm not sure.
We're on the same
I was just getting ready to ask, like, what on a silver chromatic look? So
that changed it significantly, and it stands off and looks very. So I want to take the zoom off.
I love that.
Okay, there it is. Woohoo!
I love that.
All right, I do too. It looks really great. And the other thing that we can do, again,
and I see it, and it's, but it doesn't. I'm not took away from the logo.
Yes, yes. seeing it like this,
I
do you
love that.
also like the font?
No, what I love that. What you that
This right
right there.
here
I
is it.
love that.
This is it.
Hmm.
Okay. I
That
love
is
it.
it.
Okay. That is it. Perfect. So what I'll do when we go off is pull that color down and we'll line that up and we'll change this for you. And then you guys will get to see it sometime eventually, right? Up
Yes,
as your
sir.
banner. So woohoo! Yay! I
I
love
love,
it.
oh my God. I do. You're amazing.
Thank
Ah,
you
you're
so
so
much.
amazing. I'm so
Thank you so
grateful
much. I
to
love it.
like
I'm so
this village I have been getting is just I can't. It's so it leaves me speechless sometimes. It really does.
it it does. I get that. And I'm speechless that I get to work with you and such amazing people. And so I love that we found that that was easy. You make it so easy. And you making me look good. So thank you for that.
I
Oh
like
my
that
gosh.
people get to see it. It isn't like you can't just throw it together. Like people like don't. I don't think that they realize like you and I like have hours invested into this.
Yes, yeah, we do. Chasen was given some love for the logo, and so was I saw
No, thank you. It's beautiful.
yes. Gabe said something, now I lost it, and Sharon. So love it. And thank you so much
And
for
I love seeing this feedback. This
the
is
what?
awesome. The
Yes.
feedback. I love seeing so awesome.
Yes, yes, I love lives. Uh, for that live feedback and interaction, so much fun. And anybody that wants to come on my show, you can just reach out to me and let's make it happen, right? If you want to see about creating your own holochromatic brand, holler at me. And if you want a personal brand or a business brand, we can do that too, right? But if you're ready to have something that is show stopping, that really represents you and your business at the same time without having to have them separate and without having to have separate social medias for your personal brand and your company brand, right? Let's bring all that together. Let's make things easier for ourselves. And the thing that I wanted to circle back around to really quick is the willow and why it also works for your company, right? Because your mission for your company, right, is empathy, it's community, it's shelter, it and willow represents all of those things. You said you've been in a field of willows, and willows, if to their 100% adaption, their place of wholeness and fullness is in fields. Because like any tree, underneath they all connect. But the willow tree really does represent community and strength, agility, the ability to bend and not break. So resilience, and how it cares for itself within its own root system and with its own leaves and branches is something that's really beautiful and representative of the type of ecosystem and human centric based community that you have and that you want to continue to build and of the people that you want in it. Water means transformation. It means abundance. It means being able to go with the flow, right? There's a ton of symbolism there, and I believe when a confused brain, right? If you're really, really unclear and confused, people are not going to say yes to you. They will say no to you. But when something's beautiful and it creates curiosity, to be looked at or to be drawn into, that is something completely different. And that's what a logo like this does for you, is draw people in, right? First of all, people stop because it's something they've never seen before. Then they're like, well, what does this mean? And maybe it leads them into asking questions and getting curious and actually looking some things up. And then maybe they look up that willow. Maybe they find out all the things a willow stands for, and they're like, oh man, right, that's really beautiful. This person's really beautiful. This company's beautiful. I want to know more, right? And that's what it's all about to me.
That's my hopes. I truly hope.
It is the
Like, I
hope,
hope
right?
what they see is enough to draw them in to learn what they don't see.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's, that is the hope. And it will be the proof will be in the pudding. I just absolutely know that it will. And I thank you so much for, just being so open, for being vulnerable and being present, and for doing this process live, like I said again, and also to be in a place of openness and vulnerability with your business. What we're doing is 100% disruptive behavior. It's 100% against almost everything that's said about what to do in branding or in marketing. And so it means a lot to me. It means so much that you believe in my movement, right? Or movements, and the same as I
I
believe
mean,
in
if people
yours.
know me, they know I stand against the status quo. They know that I don't fit into the mold of the expected.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're amazing. So who else better to help me step outside the box?
Perfect. And I thank you. Like I really do. And you are perfect. And it is the synergy that we do have. And there's always a way, right? There's always a way. And I love being able to step into innovation and find it. So thank you for being that person for me today. Thank you so much for playing and spending the time with me. And like I said, being vulnerable and all those things. Thank all of you also for your presence. And I want to just take the last couple of minutes, Michelle, and let you tell everybody, what is it that you're doing? What do you have coming up for you? How can they reach out to you? Um, and also I want to mention those of you on the replay later, thank you also for your presence, so that I don't forget to say that. And then but how can they reach out to you and know more about what you're doing?
I mean, really, it's all social media platforms. It's either Michelle Ramos. Most handles are the Barber Beauty 413, but you can type in Michelle Ramos, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It doesn't matter. YouTube, go like the channel, go put a comment on one of the lives. And just really, yeah. I mean, I'm not hard. I'm pretty accessible. Everything's public. I don't have no private pages, no hidden social media. It's like, if you find it and it's me, it's me. And tell me if it ain't, because who knows? Somebody might be trying to take some content. You never
Right.
know.
Yes, right, because it does happen. And what I've got going is I'm fixing to launch a brand new website with brand new offerings and ways to work with me, some new membership tiers, and all kinds of good stuff. So that's going to be coming up at the end of the month, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm also
Once we get
very
logos, I'm gonna do that.
do what? I'm sorry.
Once we get through these logos and getting all of this, very well put together, that's when we turn to the website. Then the website will be launched. Keith and I have been working on a podcast. Like, I'm with Dr. CJ, Dr. Leland at Level Up Academy. We just released co-author book. Actually, tomorrow is the official paper book release. There's a lot going on when I actually sit back and think about it. I'm
Yes,
on
that
Aaron
harvest I
Gibson's show
mentioned.
tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Gordon
it's
Gibson, the
really
Storm.
surreal.
Yeah,
It
it's gonna be
is. It's really
amazing.
surreal. I'm very grateful for everybody in this village. Like I could cry. Like, you guys have no, I mean, you guys do because you guys actually get to know me on that personal level. So you guys really know that these aren't just words, and it's not just because we're live. Like you guys heard these things well before there were lives, and well before there was like any public engagement. Like I am very grateful for my village and the opportunities, and it's stepping into that position and knowing it's like me validating my self-worth that I do deserve this. I have put in the blood and the tears and the efforts. Like it's just I'm telling people that you ask for it and you ask for it, and then when it comes, it's almost like you don't know what to do with it. And
Yeah,
I'm thankful that the ones around me that know I deserve, they help me know how to embrace it because I wouldn't know how to do this
yeah.
without you guys.
I love that. And don't sell yourself short because you bring so much to the table, right? We're learning from and with you as well in the process because that's reciprocity. And that is the dimension that you have stepped into, my love, is the dimension of reciprocity. And just a beautiful place to be. So thank you all for coming and joining us today also and sticking around with us. Thank you for the feedback. If you're on the replay, leave us some feedback because we'll be back into the comments to see any comments that are left behind, any conversation that you want to have. You can find us both on LinkedIn or like across all the socials. And we'll see you next Thursday for more Glitter and Gab. Thank you. Bye.